Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back to another episode of I Still Call It a Lariat. And today we're here to review 2026 Royal Rumble. As always, I am your host, Michael Wryght. And with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Steve. How are we doing today?
It's the day after the Rumble where we're getting this review out. We get to talk about who was there, who wasn't there, who we wish was there. We wish we were there. We get to talk about a building that was built in a stadium that was built in 2 weeks, which is a little weird, a little awkward. And there's a lot of confusion on how many people were actually there, like how filled that stadium was.
Yeah, first, I wanted to kick it off and tell everybody, so sorry that we could not be with you live at the Hard Rock in Philadelphia. Best intentions. We have acts of God clauses in all the contracts that we do. There's a big storm that kind of stopped Steven from coming up. And we weren't really sure if it was going to be able to go through I guess today as we're recording this, with the way the weather was shifting back and forth. So we promise we will try to get that on the books again in the future. But I know that some of you guys are seeing us post on our social channels about that today. So we will make that up and we will figure out how to get live again and be with you guys in the same room. Feed off your energy, like they say. Steven, I want to start it off with the kind of, who do you listen to? Because you and I kind of walked away with two slightly different opinions of the Rumble, and we'll get into it and break it down. But I was relatively happy with this show. I think it might have been WWE's best show, maybe of the season. I don't want to say of the year. It was January, but then when I talked to you and you talked about how you actually listened to Triple H and all of his kind of trying to hype it up, which I did not hear any of that ahead of time because I don't care what he has to say in that kind of promoter hat situation. And so I was not expecting the most surprise filled Rumble of all times. So do you think it helped? Do you think it hurt?
I think the fact that Triple H and a lot of these people, because of the branding and how much stuff they do for a promotional tour of an event, and especially this big, going on the different ESPN shows, going on varying things in that effect. I think, unfortunately, I know you don't listen to it, but when you're casting that wide of a net, it's hard for everyone to not hear it type of situation. And unfortunately, when you overpromise a situation like that and then kind of underdeliver it, and I'm not saying it was a bad show. That's what I want to get out there. I don't think that this was a bad show. But when you are like, this is going to be the most surprise-filled Rumble ever, and everything's going to be so cool, and this is going to be huge, and this is going to be huge, and your big surprise was great wrestling, I don't want to say it's a letdown, but it's a bit of it's a bit of a letdown. It's all we should have expected was a great wrestling show, and we were sold sold a bill of goods of this is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened since, the first WrestleMania.
I will say, looking back at the PLEs from this year, great wrestling is kind of a surprise, the biggest surprise, if you will.
That is a fact.
I just want to preface for the listeners, for the Legionnaires, anything that comes out of Triple H's mouth, Paul Levesque, just assume that he's lying, like every single time, like everything he says. Like most surprises of all times, literally no legends return. So just this is just proof in case that anytime he says anything, just expect the opposite to happen. That's the world we live in right now. So let's get into it, Steven. Let's start with the Women's Rumble. We had, my winner wasn't even there, which was kind of disappointing for me.
That's a little bit of a letdown, bud.
And I knew I was kind of swinging for the fences there with Bianca, but it made too much sense for her to come back. And she had been gone, like she's been out since Mania. So I just assumed that this was the perfect time to bring her back up against Jade. Would have been fantastic. But we did not get that. But I will say this was one of the best Rumble. Was this one of my favorite Rumbles? Not of all times. There's some really, really good Rumbles. But this was definitely my favorite women's Rumble, I think, maybe of all times. And the end of this Rumble was fantastic. We said that we thought one of these two Rumbles were going to start off with tag team partners like goofing around, and we got that. It's exactly
we did get that.
A lot of fun.
I said when we did the preview that I thought it could be either one. Although I will admit I was wrong. I thought it was going to be a heel faction doing it, but either way, this is still kind of the prediction.
Yeah, and this was great. Like this is what I think tag team partners should do. Where they kind of dropped the ball there was then they didn't take advantage of being a duo and like eliminating anybody off the bat. Like Kiana James coming out and not getting eliminated pretty quickly with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
And Kiana James coming out and basically ruling house on Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah. When they didn't wrestle. Like, it's not like Charlotte and Alexa like worked on each other while they were there. Kiana James came out against the former tag team champions, 2 former world champions, 2 future Hall of Famers. And
maybe the best woman wrestler of all times with Charlotte Flair. Like she
she does rank in that like listing. Like, so that's or at least what the WWE machine wants you to believe is that she's the greatest of all time.
The greatest, right?
You know, she's a Flair. She is the next generation of Flair. And Kiana James came out and ruled house for a while. And then when they finally like started to beat her down, they didn't toss her out. That seems.
I was shocked. There was other things that shocked me as well as we went through. Is shocking stuff. Here's one for you. How about Nia Jax eliminating nobody?
Several eliminations.
The person whose gimmick is I go in there and I clear house to make room for the next wave of people doesn't eliminate anybody. I just don't. Apparently, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it is not a duck. It's 0 eliminations. That's what it is.
It's just Nia Jax.
Just Nia Jax. So going into some of our predictions as we'll use this to kind of start off. So as I said to start, Charlotte and Alexa started off. You had Chelsea Green and Lyra starting, and I had Lyra and Zelina Vega. Though, for the record, all 3 of those people were actually in the Rumble, so that was nice. Even though they weren't at the beginning. Vega actually had a pretty disappointing Rumble, I think. I thought they would do something with her, give her a moment in the sun. She came in pretty late, right?
She came in. She did come in. She was number 16, so she's right in the middle of the pack, realistically.
10 minutes, no eliminations.
And I'm sorry. It's no longer Zelina Vega. It's just Zelina.
Like Selena, but Selena. So a little bit of a disappointment. I thought they would actually do something with her, just because they're kind of giving that duo a little bit more of a spotlight. Just give it a way to just kind of prop her up. But nonetheless, the last was Tiffany Stratton. Really surprised on her being number 30 here. Really for no other reason, but I thought they would give her some real time to shine in the Rumble.
I agree. I thought she would have been in here a little bit longer. Also, I feel like they didn't do a lot of eliminations before her coming in so that she could do the swanton into the crowd. But I love Tiffany Stratton. I love her work. I think some of her booking has been a little questionable. She should have been a heel this entire run. And when she did the swanton into the group of people this time, it's just obvious that they're standing around waiting for it this time. Like when she did it the first couple times, it wasn't as obvious. Maybe it was just camera angle. Maybe it was whatever it was. This time it was finally like, all right, guys, Okay. We know she's doing this.
I agree that the safety of people doing these high, crazy stunts should be at the forefront of everything we do. But when the women have been doing this recently, I go back to War Games. It's been very much one of those everyone stands around and waits to catch somebody, and you need to work on that. You could still be really safe, and just work on your timing of when you show up. There's a few of those moments throughout the this rumble too, where someone was missing their kind of spot. It seemed a little over choreographed,
Di-
very very small. I'm nitpicking right now, and I don't mean to, but and I was like I said, I love this rumble. This rumble was a lot of fun. I was watching it, and I was in, and I was like, I love a good laugh here and there. When you got some big hits, surprise eliminations at certain times. We had the Iron Woman was Charlotte Flair in there just under an hour, which was like 59 minutes plus, which impressive. And Steven, before we came on, I mentioned to you, there was a moment in time when I realized how long Charlotte was in there, being like, you know, I think I want to see her win. It wasn't what I was expecting. I feel like I haven't really rooted for Charlotte in a while. Like I like her and Alexa together, and like I'll root for that duo. But to get a world title shot, I haven't been like, oh yeah, you know what we haven't seen before? Charlotte Flair in the world title picture.
Something new and different.
Yeah, but like thinking of someone who is so decorated, having a Royal Rumble victory from the one spot would have been awesome. So that's why I kind of started shifting that mentality for legacy reasons. But there she was. I had you had Liv, I had Jordan Grace. I think Jordan Grace didn't actually have the best rumble either. She had an elimination, I believe.
She went just under 15 minutes and she had 3 eliminations. She had a decent rumble.
She had a decent rumble. I would have expected that 15 to be around 30. Just because of who she is. Obviously, I would have thought it would have been longer because I had her as my Iron Woman. But yeah, I would have expected that to be a bit longer going into this. But 3 eliminations is nothing to turn your nose down at. What did she eliminated?
I think that's tied
Ivy
for the
Nile.
Second most.
Yeah, she eliminated Ivy Nile, Lola Vice, and Candice LeRae.
Like I said, tied for the second most. The other 2 people that got 3 were Liv Morgan and
Rhea, right?
What's that?
Rhea.
Rhea, yes. Yep, Rhea.
And speaking of Candice LeRae, who was my pick for the shortest, came in second shortest. I was this close.
You're so close.
Kyrie was the one that ended up having the shortest match. I was interested. I am interested to see where this goes between Kyrie and Asuka. I don't love Kyrie being like the butt of the joke. Like the Kabuki Warriors should be pretty serious and like there's even like the funny spot where Asuka just screams her name when she's sitting on the outside, like so disappointed. Though, did you if you caught it with Io when I believe Io, right? Am I remembering this correctly? Io eliminates her and looks real sad afterwards.
Yeah, like the whole time that they were working, she just had sad face. She had like boo-boo face the whole time. And I get it, but we've gone so far into this feud now. You kind of just can't be sad anymore that you're fighting your former friends. We've gone far enough where it's they're not your former friends anymore. They are your enemies, like until they become your friends again.
Yeah, until that boomerangs around.
Until that boomerangs back around. But until we give you a reason why they're your friends again, right now they're your enemies. And they have been for a really long time. So the idea of fighting them, I don't think it should be sad anymore. Like it's like you can't just keep making they're my family face.
The little disappointed on Maxine Dupree on her showing out here. Like you're going to build her up. You're going to give her that the IC title for a little bit. You're going to set up something in the Rumble for 2 minutes. 247, no eliminations. Eliminated by Becky. Really, that one doesn't sit right with me. I think she should have had a little bit more of a push here. particularly when you're setting stuff up with Natty to kind of have their own little blood feud going on. I just would like to see her have an opportunity to kind of have a little bit more of a spotlight on her. You had for the shortest, you had Becky, who was in there a decent amount of time. She had her moment.
She got it was about 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
7.5 minutes, and one elimination.
And it was Maxine. And for most eliminations, you had Lash, who would have been my second pick, but Nia was in here, so she's guaranteed at least 6 eliminations, unless it's 0. So we'll move on. The legend return, you had McCool, I had Trish. How about neither? And we just get the only real legend we get is Brie Bella. So that's cool. I
Is it? I'm actually I was a little surprised about this one because Bryan Danielson, as far as I know, is still working with AEW, and usually they don't mix the oil and water like that. So,
I mean, they have plenty of people who work on both sides of the fence.
They do, but not on that level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
chance.
They were getting yes chants. That's their way of stealing the yes chant back.
I thought it was funny that I guess Nikki Bella's a face again. Is that?
She's a face when Brie is there.
Is that what it is?
It's just when Brie is there. And well, she becomes the face then.
I think you're going to see a lot more of Brie over the next couple of weeks through, I don't know, April.
Yeah, probably, especially in Philly. I'm sure you'll see her at the Raw in Philly with Nikki after she hangs out with Cooper DeJean.
I will say, women's Raw tag division, fantastic. Like, I don't know if they quite know what to do with it, but the talent of the tag teams on Raw is insane. The Wookiee Warriors, Io and Rhea, Charlotte and Alexa. Now, I mean, the Bellas, you got
well, Charlotte and
Bailey
Alexa are on
too, right?
on SmackDown, but the women's tag team division is.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Even still, though, the women's tag team division is universal, so it's on both sides. So you have a good women's tag team division, realistically.
Bailey and Lyra, both on Raw as well.
Yes. Yes.
So I guess expect the Bellas to be tag team champions relatively soon for 15 seconds.
For reasons.
Maybe. Yeah, for reasons. Unbeknownst to me. Better than you'd expect. I had Natty, and I think you make a case that she definitely had a better Rumble than expected. Because I feel like in the past, she would have been one of those in and out quickly, in there for over 20 minutes. Eliminated Becky, which I think is a big spot for her. Maybe there is them setting up a little bit of an IC title match there, but we'll see kind of what happens with Maxine and Natty moving forward. But I thought Natty had a pretty good showing. You had, as I passed
Julia.
You had Julia, who had a pretty solid showing, right?
Just over 15 minutes with an elimination. I mean, between her and Natty, we're almost like splitting hairs. It's just Natty had a bigger elimination.
Yeah, that's
what puts her over.
Both solid things, but I think there's no doubt who stole the show of like way better than expected with Sol Ruka out there, just doing crazy flips left and right.
50 minutes.
50 minutes and an elimination. She
eliminated JC Jane,
which sets something up, which I'm always for. I'm here for that. Final 3, and really going toe to toe with Tiffy and Liv at the end there.
I agree. The only spot that I didn't really like, and here's the thing is, I like all 3 of those of those ladies. They, Liv, Tiffany, and and Soul. We've been saying for, it's got to be at least a year before they were actually doing anything with Soul Ruka. Like we were like, when are they pulling the trigger on her? When are they pulling the trigger on her? And they finally started pulling the trigger on her a bit lately. They gave her the women's North American title in NXT. They had a run with that. They have her and Zarya going after the TNA Knockouts tag team titles, I believe. And so they've got her doing stuff now, and I like that. This is where I will critique a spot. First of all, I'm tired of seeing however many different Rumble Battle Royal matches end with an apron spot. So that'll be my first part of this critique. The second one was, you can kind of see, or at least our trained eyes were able to see, when she went to do the spot originally and she almost slipped and Tiffany kind of grabbed her and like held her up there. I think if this was a little bit more experience amongst the three of them, at least on the Tiffany and Soul side, where the majority of their training comes from the Performance Center and making sure that everything gets done. If it had kind of maybe come, I know Tiffany has trained with Mr. Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, whatever you want to say, but I think if you spent a little bit more time in that type of system, you would have realized, like, just let her fall. If she wasn't supposed to be one of the last two, once she hit that, you don't need to hit that. You don't need to miss that last spot. Just let her fall, because she still hit the turnbuckle post and went down. So it made sense. And again, I'm nitpicking on this one, so I want to point that out. It's a very, very subtle, like, I saw that. Like, as a worker, I saw that. But
so I disagree with the ring apron stuff. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was high impact, and I would 100% been on your page if they also did it in the men's, because I feel like recently when you have these like gimmick match,
they do it on one and they do it on the other. Yeah,
they echo each other, and they didn't do that here. So that's why, like, that made sense. Let's do this one here, and the other one will be a little bit different. So all in all, big fan. We had our final four. You had Liv, Rhea, Roxanne Perez, and Tiffy. 2 out of 4. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too shabby. 2 of my final 4 weren't even in the Rumble. So that's a little bit of egg on my face, I guess. Liv in the final 4, she won, so she was there. Becky not being there. The whole reason I would have had Tiffany in the final 4, and I would have had Becky out if I would have known AJ wasn't in the final 4. I probably would have had Rhea. I may have had Raquel Rodriguez, who does round out part of the final 4. But I'm not sure now. Going back, Becky and AJ were there. There was no way you could have talked me out of that Bianca was going to win this match. Like, unless you told me that she is not cleared and her hand will never be the same.
I think she might actually not be cleared yet. I think that's a real thing.
I think it's guaranteed she's not cleared right now.
I think,
regardless if she wins or not.
From the sound bites I've ever gotten from this is that her finger, the way it was broken, required more than one surgery. And like, to the point of, I guess it had swollen to the point that her wedding ring, like they basically had to like cut her ring off type of situation, because of the way or at least like her finger was so mangled that like it wasn't the swelling so much, it was the contortion of the finger. So that's kind of
take my strong hand.
Take my strong hand.
That's all I could hear there. But yeah, she's clear. In my mind, she's not cleared. She's in the Rumble if she's cleared. Like, there's no way she isn't.
I agree. I don't think that you hold off on
in the Rumble.
It's so that Punk could keep saying AJ Styles is his second favorite AJ.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Is she still sitting on the moral high ground, which I'm not. Don't take that as me making fun of her or like rolling my eyes. Take the moral high ground. It's fine. But CM Punk definitely took that payday instead of staying on that moral high ground last time. So I was just surprised that she wasn't there. But the final four was Liv, Tiffany, Sol Ruka, Raquel, bringing the final two to be Liv and Tiffany, and Liv winning the Royal Rumble this year.
I was so close.
And how great was her dumping Raquel Rodriguez out of the ring?
Do we think that's going to be a thing?
No, I don't. I mean, Dom won the IC title off of Finn Balor, right? Like that's kind of the way the Judgment Day rolls.
Whoever wins wins.
Whoever wins. Every person, like, let's work together. We'll help each other out. In that moment, particularly when you're getting down to the final four, the gloves are off, and Raquel, that's on you. Because if it wasn't Liv, it could have been anybody sitting there. Gloating over Rhea, who's out in the back, who took a nasty spill. See how hard she hit the outside there? Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
I wouldn't be surprised if her back is all black and blue today. Like she hit that hard. And
she hits harder than the guy that's selling the back 2 matches later.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Like it was a tough one to watch as she wriggled around on the ground afterwards. But Liv winning, I want to see what happens if Raquel wins the title. Does she cash in there? Do you think she cashes in on Raquel?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think she cashes in on Raquel. I think it's gonna kind of be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Liv and Roxanne in the Judgment Day, and Raquel kind of becomes on the outside looking in. And
the stipulation, if I'm not mistaken, this match is a main event at WrestleMania.
It's for I don't know if that's what I heard. I know on the men's
said it numerous times for the.
Is that what they said? Because I know on the men's one they said for a main event at WrestleMania. I don't know if they always say for the women's if it's for the.
Women. They said at least one time when they said that I was like, oh, look at that. Does that mean the women get a real main event? Or it's going to be night one, so it's not really a real main event, but it's headline night one. Is what it sounds like to me. And then you'll have.
I think it's going to be a headline on one of them. I don't think it's. I think they take it as if you're a headliner for one of the nights. That's a main event. Again, there's only one main event.
There's only one main event. But the way they said it for one of the main events, the way it made it sound like is that the last match on night one, what I would assume is the women's match. The main event of night 2 is the men's Rumble winner going into that. So let's see what happens and see where they come out of it. But that's what they made it sound like.
And we got a Liv Morgan winner.
Liv Morgan winner. I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not disappointed she won. She finally kind of got over that hump. This is definitely one of those things where you'd want Liv to get a Royal Rumble victory under her belt on that list of accolades that she gets to show everybody. So pretty happy on that front. I thought the end of that match was fantastic. I was locked in.
I did like it, and I like the oblivion into the elimination. I really like that. I was this close though. I was this close to getting the winner. I got number 2.
I think the oblivion might be my favorite finisher move right now.
I really like the oblivion. I really do like it, and I like how she pulled it off here. Again, I really liked this version of the apron finish. It's just it's been getting done to death in the last few years. Every time there's a battle, almost every time there's a battle royal, there's something. And
it's funny because it's always Liv.
It is always Liv.
It's always Liv. So is it really that, or is it the fact that Liv's always the final 2, final 3 of these things? She did it when she won the title. She won the title. Is that where they got it? When she beat Becky? When they vacated Bria's, there was a
when Becky won the belt.
Royal.
When Becky won that one, I think it was on there.
She won that one.
And here's the thing: is it's not just Royal Rumbles or WWE Battle Royals. It's Battle Royals across the board.
Oh, that's
So
fair.
that might be where it is I'm looking at it more as the business keeps doing it. And I'm like, all right, guys, if you do it on if they did it on Saturday, you don't need to do it on Sunday.
Agreed. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. We'll move on from the women's match. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. We have AJ Styles with his career on the line against Gunther. And Steven, we picked with our hearts, not with our heads, I think, in this situation. We both took AJ. And now AJ is apparently done in WWE because Gunther has retired him, adding that notch to the Bill Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. Let's separate that part from the match itself. What did you think of the match?
I was just going to ask you, what did you think of the actual match? All right, I think AJ Styles got the best match out of Gunther that he has had in pretty much his entire time on the main roster.
I agree.
I, for the most part, have sided on. I do like Gunther, but also in kind of the recent year or so, I've been a little bit more. I don't want to just join the internet wrestling community and be like, he's so boring. It's this, it's that. It's more. I don't know if I buy him as a killer, and I don't. I want to say this the right way because I'm not saying it with my heart. I didn't like the end of this match, not because AJ lost. I didn't like. It feels like the work on the sleeper hold keeps going. They did the same thing on the Cena match. I think they basically did the same thing on the Goldberg match. That's now his moniker is he just keeps working the sleeper hold no matter what. And no one gets any offense in once he locks in that sleeper hold. They just get out of it for about 2 seconds, and then he does something, elbows them in the face, puts them back in. They worked the last sleeper for, I think, over 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes of match time. That's a long time in a match. It's just, I don't know. I think this is definitely the best Gunther has been in a match. But at the same time, maybe it is my heart, but I just didn't like the finish. I would have flip-flopped how they worked Gunther on this night, and that's me. I would have had him lose here. And I'm sorry if we're giving spoilers, but he does go into the Rumble later. I think I would have flip-flopped the situation there, and I don't want to jump the gun and lead the audience too much, but I think I would have had Gunther lose here and somehow won a Rumble.
This match was great. I thought this was a really solid match. I really, really enjoyed this match. Everything that it came from it. You see that nasty cut on AJ's
That nasty gash on
AJ's
AJ's arm, yeah.
But this match was really, really solid. I don't subscribe to the internet community, even though I'm a member of it, I guess. Gunther has his place. He's a slower, brute, strong man. I think having him tap out as much as he has, even with the faux tap out, if that's what we're calling it now.
I think that's an issue.
Yeah, he shouldn't be tapping out to anybody.
I also would like. AJ Styles is the first one that it's a different situation because technically we didn't know when AJ's contract might be up. I don't like that they announced that he was retiring this year anyway, but AJ coming into this match, no one was sure if one way or another. So,
like I said, we're pretty sure.
I mean, yeah, but we did still pick with our hearts a little bit on this one. Here's where I'm at with AJ losing this one. He's the only one though that was still somewhat in his prime, was still like, it wasn't announced that this was his last match, definitely. You know what I mean? Like they at least tried to sell it. Gunther saying he's the career killer, and realistically, it's not even Gunther saying he's the career killer. This is the WWE media machine coming up with him being the career killer. Well, what career did he kill? Because I'm waiting for it. He didn't kill anyone's career. He had Goldberg's last match, yes, but Goldberg announced that it was
not killer.
He's just the retirement match guy. Goldberg announced that was his last match, win, lose, or draw. Cena announced that was his last match, win, lose, or draw. AJ's the first one out of these three that didn't announce that this was his last match, one way or another. Fair. So I would love for someone, whoever is going to go after Gunther next, or whoever is going to go after Gunther, I don't know, after he retires Brock Lesnar, because I'm thinking that's happening at SummerSlam, and walk up and either before or after that and be like, we can't call you the career killer. These guys were retiring anyway, and you beat a bunch of guys that were on their way out anyway. You didn't beat Goldberg in his prime. You didn't beat Cena in his prime. Styles, you can say, but he's not TNA AJ Styles. It's not the guy that went to war with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels. So yeah, you're the last match of these guys' career, but you're not a career killer. And I want someone to say it on a promo, like, you need to prove, like, if he was a career killer, he'd be battering these guys so badly that they never get back up. Like, I want him to end, I don't know, Jey Uso's career. And yes, I know how I'm picking that, but realistically, someone who has career left, like a lot of career left, you know, if he were to end Jey Uso, or even if they don't announce it, if he were to end Roman, like, that would make you a career killer. That's what that makes you a killer to me. What he's doing, he's not a killer. He's just the guy they trust enough to have their last match with.
And then you spin the truth. That's the way it works. Wrestling. Promote it.
Wrestling.
I think, well, first of all, I miss 3 arms raised. Like,
yeah, it's definitely something that I think MMA killed a little bit.
Like, why? Like, that's the wrestling thing, you know. I never get a whatever. The other thing is, I think AJ putting his gloves back on and not leaving him in the ring means that we get more AJ. If you look back at the last year, we were talking about this a little bit. I think he did kind of have a retirement tour. He had the tag team title match, titles with Dragon Lee. So he was working with younger guys. He had his match with Cena. Like, who in WWE did we not get to see one last match with AJ Styles that we wanted? He had that match with Cody right after. He had that clinic with Cody right after he won the title. So, unlike Cena, who was gone for a while and came back, and I was like, man, I really wanted to see him wrestle this guy and that guy and this guy, and I didn't get those because I got him working with Logan Paul too much, and I got him working with even Dom was a little bit too much on how much they worked with him. There's no one left in WWE that I'm upset that I don't get to see AJ versus so and so one last time. What I am excited about is free agent AJ Styles going and being TNA World Champion again, going to face the likes of Frankie Kazarian one more time. Maybe give me a Moose versus AJ match would be fantastic. Chris Evans, get that match out there, right? Chris Evans is the one that he was like, he's the future, right? Am I mixing my people up?
Javon Evans.
Javon Evans, NXT, right?
Is NXT.
No, who's the one that he went and who am I missing? That's embarrassing. But he went he went to I haven't been following TNA as much. He was on Cena's last show.
Leon Slater?
Leon Slater is who I'm looking for. Thank you. Maybe get AJ versus Leon Slater in TNA.
I could see him doing if they'll allow it to. I realize the working connection with this group in AEW, but let's not forget his deep story with New Japan right now. So
Yeah,
like
I was
I
going to go
wouldn't
there.
mind
I just was
I
starting
wouldn't
in
mind
TNA.
him going to New Japan. Here's the thing, I don't think the idea that he goes and signs with AEW, I don't think that's a thing.
That's why I called him free agent, AJ. Like, he can go and have 2 matches in AEW without a contract. And,
I
and he
agree.
has no weight clause because his contract is expiring.
I wouldn't be surprised if New Japan is his way around working with those guys from AEW. I could see him going to New Japan and getting a match with maybe Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, maybe Samoa Joe.
Maybe Samoa Joe, doing something along those lines. So I could see that. I know someone that posted who he's never had a match with was Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to see that, but again, who knows how Ospreay's coming back.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect him to have like any really new rivalry matches at this point in time. But I think the New Japan, because New Japan was one of the stops I was going to suggest that he make, maybe an AEW stop. But at the end of the day, I think that we have a nice little run of him in TNA at the bare minimum before this year is over. Like, that's why he picked up those gloves and put them back on, because he wasn't leaving his boots in the ring because he still had some more wrestling in him. It was just WWE time was over. And I guarantee you it was, we're not going to put the title on you, AJ, over the next year. So what do you want to do about it? He's like, okay, I'll go get the TNA one again. House that I built.
Just one more brick.
So one more brick. So as long as we get that, I'm not all that upset that he got retired here. Don't love that he got retired in Riyadh. No offense to those guys over there. Would much rather have him in the States, where he did all of his
yeah,
career.
like I don't know. I feel like it would have. I know technically this is kind of what they did with Goldberg too, but if they had done something in like Atlanta, I think that would have been big for him. Being that he's a Georgia boy, he's from just a little outside Atlanta. Like, let's, maybe put him there. This way they can do something. I don't know. I think that would have been a little better. I don't love the idea of him retiring in Riyadh either. I think this is
it just felt off. Like, I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to do anything else. It just felt off that he did it in foreign soil. Like, this could have happened in Sydney, and I'd be like, why isn't it happening in Sydney? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the undisputed WWE title match: Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn 0-4 in Saudi Arabia, but 0-15 against Drew McIntyre. Did I see that correctly?
This time we picked with our heads. Actually, no, we picked with our hearts on this one.
A little bit of both. It made absolutely no sense for Sami to win this title here. I do think I'm standing by. Sami wins the world title in Riyadh next year at WrestleMania.
I think so.
Nothing. I'll make that pick now. Lock it
in. I'm writing it down.
Write it down. I'm good.
You know what? I saw someone post this, and I understand that Sami is supposed to be the underdog from the underground, but is he even like the underdog anymore? Like, how many titles can you win before you stop being the underdog realistically?
Yeah, he's not. That's just one of those lies he spins.
That's what I'm saying. And the other side of that is, to go with it, is someone posted this to go along with it. He hasn't done anything to, I don't know, improve his look at all, anything like that. He like to play up the underdog thing. He's like purposely gotten into what or aesthetically worse shape.
I guess so. I haven't noticed him all that worse than he has in the past. Maybe I just haven't been paying that much attention there. But I'm with you. Like, I feel like he fell down the card. He was going for a big push. Something happened behind the scenes. He got pushed down the card, hung out with Alpha Academy for a little while, and then really didn't do anything post that to really deserve this. And like, he's done a ton of his career to deserve it, and I think he will be world champion one day. And I'm not trying to take away from it. It just, the build to this match just wasn't realistic, and I think that Drew really needed this win. He needed a strong defense. Beating Sami in Saudi Arabia, I think, does kind of give him a big one. Doesn't legitimize him, I think. Do you think Sami really got hurt?
I don't know, but I mean, it definitely goes with the idea that Sami was the underdog. Making Sami even more of an underdog in this match, I felt was almost unnecessary. But this was still a good match, and I don't know if he
hurt his back. I actually was like, oh no, he's gonna win this.
yeah, exactly. And my thing with Drew is, this is the opposite of Gunther. Drew is actually going out and killing people, and I like it, and I want him to.
That power bomb through the table was vicious. That was vicious. Like, I'm convinced that was not a breakaway table, that he just destroyed him through that table. That table wept after being hit by Sami Zayn. It wasn't the other way around. Like, Sami didn't get hit by the table.
Drew didn't use the table. Drew didn't use the table on Sami. He used Sami on the table.
Yeah, like the table definitely called his mama something. I don't know what it was, and I won't repeat it. Even come close to that kind of ire from Drew McIntyre. I want none of that heat. But the table definitely said something, and it was unsavory and uncalled for. Really,
it was rude. Just rude.
And it got punished by getting hit so hard by Sami Zayn.
Oof. Jeez, that poor table.
He had it coming. I'm just saying, it had it coming. This match, I thought this was great. This is one of Drew McIntyre's best matches in recent history too. I think the two of them really worked well together. I got everything out of it that I wanted. I was curious, like when he hit the ground, they said that funny nature. I was like, ooh, did he really get hurt? I thought they were going to call the match for a second there, and then Drew got in there. And for a half a second, I was like, is he going to just get him in the ring to pin him and have this over with? But then just started working the back like crazy. So I wasn't quite sure if he really did get hurt or not, but I could see the way he landing and spiking on his feet like that really messing up the bottom, your lower back. So well done spot if that was planned. If not, I do hope Sammy's okay, as much as we throw shade at him. I definitely don't want to see him hurt.
We don't want to see anyone hurt, but also... No. I'm glad you went down, buddy.
Then the end of the match of the hula kick into the double claymore, absolutely fantastic. I thought that was a really, really strong finish. That first claymore he got all of that one. Let's say, like, I think he rung Sammy's bell there. Like that was, oof, he got him.
I like the double claymore finish too. I like to go along with Drew being a killer. Like I'm not hitting you with this because I have to. I'm hitting you with this because I want to.
Yeah, I think the claymore is such a fun kick. It's a really good finisher, and so all around, I was pretty happy with this. Stephen, I was thinking about it. Who's your current favorite wrestler?
My current favorite wrestler? I don't know.
I think mine's Drew McIntyre. I know I speak it of it. It shouldn't be all that surprising. And that's why I think I've been so disappointed on all the work that Cody and Drew has been doing together. Because I just expect more out of the two of them in the ring together. And I don't know if they necessarily have the best chemistry. I'll talk a little bit more about what I think is going to happen with potentially him and the winner of the Rumble, which I don't think we've said out loud yet. So
we have not.
So you gave away one person who didn't win, but but we'll move into that now. But that one for Drew, I think he might be my favorite one right now. He just has such great storylines, and he can carry a feud by himself. The other person doesn't have to be there.
I mean, that's kind of what he does.
And if he can turn that self-sabotage around to being just brutal against his opponents and have a nice run here, I gotta be really, really happy.
I thought you were going to go a different way with that line. I thought you were going to be like, if he can turn that self-centered snake CM Punk into a baby face.
No. No, nowhere near that. That was Drew's thing for the longest time. It was all self-sabotage. And every time he kind of picked his foot off the ass, like, I want to see him learn his lesson now, where like you'll see that moment where he starts to let it unravel, pull it together, turn around, and just break somebody in half and be like, I'm not doing that anymore. This is a new Drew.
I like
going into the men's Royal Rumble. I was very happy with this Royal Rumble in general because I did not see the hype. There some things I'm a little upset with. I didn't say this earlier. I meant to start the show with this, and I'll go back to it because I think it's worth mentioning. So Wade Barrett, we were talking about it beforehand. Highlight of the Royal Rumble.
Wade Barrett's my favorite part of the Royal Rumble.
He was fantastic at the desk. I was laughing. Definitely some things have happened between him and Dominic Mysterio, in my mind, in the romantic category, I think.
They made some smoochies.
I don't know, but he said the word, some sort of phrase around Dominic is the best lover or something like that. Trust me. That means that he has experience in there. And I don't judge you. You love whoever you want. But at the end of the day, I think confirmed that there was some relations between the two of them. That's what it sounded like to me.
Listen, outside of that, Wade Barrett has my favorite line of the entire show, quoting one of our favorite bands, Tenacious D. It is amazing.
It was just tribute.
It was just tribute. You gotta believe me. Come on, man. Like, as soon as he said it, I'm sitting in my living room and I popped. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yes. As soon as he said it, I sent the text to you, and you were about 30 minutes behind me. So,
yeah, and I missed it because I was listening to it with headphones on, and every time I talked, the voice came down, and I was watching it around kids, so I was talking every 15 minutes. So, at minimum. Were your socks rocked off? Is that
my socks? When he said it, my socks were thoroughly rocked off.
That's what the D does. So we'll start this off. The first two in the match, Oba and Braun Breaker,
sort of.
But they were the first two in the ring. That's a fact. I feel a little robbed, Steven. Not happy that Braun Breaker didn't make it into the ring before he was attacked by this brand new thing. Came out yesterday, man in black hoodie.
And a mask?
I know. And a mask. Never saw it coming.
I've never seen that.
Pretending to be Seth Rollins.
Got hit. Or it was Seth Rollins.
No,
or it's Adam Pearce.
I know. I don't think it's him either.
Or it's Chris Jericho.
No, I don't think it is him either. I think it was Logan Paul's brother.
Jake Paul?
Jake Paul. Was his name. I was blanking on his name too.
You thought it was Jake Paul? I thought you were going to say like a fake brother's name, like it was Logan Paul's brother, Brogan Paul.
No, I think it was Jake Paul. If there's a really good close-up of the man in the mask, and just like the Batman cowl, which how do you not know is Bruce Wayne? It's it kind of, you could see some pretty damning features. So I think it was Jake Paul. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I don't know if Jake's jaw is cleared yet to even do that. Like, I don't know if he's cleared to fly
I
with
don't
his
know.
jaw still wired shut like that.
I think it's
I'm not
interesting.
saying he is or he isn't. I'm not a medical technician. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV.
I'll tell you, it wasn't Seth Rollins.
I don't think it was
how many
Seth
times people
Rollins.
do his move, it wasn't him. And so that was a little disappointing. Not who we thought was going to start it. This is where you thought Big Bronson Reed and Austin Theory were going to start it off. I had Trick Williams and The Miz. Obafemi and Braun started it. And I'm not all that upset about it. Like Obafemi. Oof. What a rumble by Oba.
Let's go M'Baku.
He was the Iron Man and the most eliminations in the Rumble.
Yes, he was both those things.
Both those things were fun.
Both those things.
He had 5 eliminations. He had 40 minutes in the. No, he wasn't the Iron Man. You lied to me.
I thought he was.
Javon Evans.
Oh, it is Javon.
By over a minute more.
Oh, yeah.
You liar. Javon Evans.
Which means I was
That was
right,
the
wasn't
Iron
I?
Man. How were you?
Did I have Evans as well? I did. I am correct.
You did. Look at you. You sold yourself short.
I'm
Not that you get any points for that, but
he's still the second longest in there with 5 eliminations.
yeah, he had just a killer Rumble. Like I was pumped from him in the beginning. He was just throwing people around.
And I know
him and Solo was a lot of fun. Like
him and Solo was a lot of fun.
toe.
And him, honestly, I know we talked about it last on the preview about maybe getting him together with Bronson Reed, but now that I've seen him and Lesnar together, I want to see him and Lesnar together.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm really excited for Mania being Lesnar versus Braun Breaker. Like I think that's the match it should be. But I'm in for Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. I'm cool with that.
I feel like they can do with Oba what they, and I realize it's a different type of specimen, but I feel like they can do with him what they kind of failed to do with Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So like they can kind of step up and finally do that with him. He's also a lot younger. There's no injuries. You know, I think Oba and Braun Breaker are the same age. Like they're both like 27, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's just scary that Oba is only 27 years old. Like that's
they're gonna be around for a while.
He's gonna be around for a while, and he's just gonna get better.
I will say, little disappointed on how hard they put Oba over at the expense of other people. Rusev in there for 30 seconds.
For 30 seconds.
Like, really surprising. Matt Cardona, what's the point of flying him out to Riyadh if you're going to put him in there for less than a minute?
All that tanning oil that he used.
You know, staining the bed sheets. I will say, the first, like, Obafemi's eliminations happened in succession, and then he didn't do anything else for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
Like, he should have got a couple more spread out. Because he literally has the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and then done. And then, okay, you're good. Don't throw everybody else out.
Realistically, he probably should have really had like 7 eliminations.
Yeah, give me 2 more later on. He could have gotten rid of one of the El Grandes, some other things in there.
No one knows about that yet.
Fair enough. So we had those ways. So we just got the Iron Man and the most eliminations done. The last man, you had Roman, I had Brock. It was Gunther. Honestly, Gunther made complete sense. We should have saw that coming.
We should have seen that one coming.
Having a second match. Honestly, we should have picked, like, the only 2 proper responses there were Gunther or AJ. Considering that he picked AJ to win. Like, it could have been 29 as Gunther, then 30 was It was AJ, but our shortest, not that we would ever have chosen Braun Breaker as the shortest, who was in there for 10 seconds. But neither of our shortest, maybe it does count because they were in the match for 0 seconds.
Yes, that's true. They were not involved in the match at all.
We at least saw the Los Americanos for a second.
That is true. We at least saw them. There. My better than expected wasn't in there either, technically.
I saw this. Just saying.
He said gracias.
My better than expected Matt Cardona didn't last a minute. So
here I'm gonna voice my gripe about the Rumble in general on this one. Brock and Roman both announced themselves basically via FaceTime or whatever it was. And my issue with Brock announcing himself and declaring himself in the Rumble was it was after Pierce told Finn that the Rumble was already filled. So I do have a little gripe with that one. Like some of the people that you had in here, but you couldn't have Finn Balor, who would have made this kind of a better show.
You had the Judgment Day win the Women's Rumble, and you don't have not a single
Judgment Day male member.
Like, what are we doing?
Like, Finn isn't in, Dom's not in. Dom's your Intercontinental Champion.
Most over person in all of wrestling right now. And he's not in the Royal Rumble?
And he's your number 2 men's champion. Like, where is he?
Let's get Ray out there for 37 seconds or
listen, even more so, and I'm not saying that I don't love this guy, but Mr. Iguana.
I struggle with when I don't get. I understand Jericho's a long shot. He's still technically on the AEW roster page right now, so who knows what's going on with him. But no R-Truth, no Dominic Mysterio, no Joe Hendry, and no Finn Balor. I mean, even JD McDonough at this point in time, at least
he's still hurt. JD's out on injury, yeah. So that one I give them. I give them a pass on GD, but there's so many other people that like I felt like we really didn't we could have seen. No legends. There was no we had technically we didn't even have anyone from NXT because Obafemi is main roster. He's just unaffiliated right now.
Yeah,
Javon is officially signed. Like there was no one from actual NXT here. So instead of bringing in someone that people would have really have known, we brought in La Parka Jr.
So that was my only legend was La Parka ? I'm Ron Burgundy? Because
they announced him as not being the original La Parka. They flat out said it.
It was the best I could do with this Rumble of trying to find out who the legend was.
Well, what about El Grande Americano? He's been the greatest luchador for over 100 years.
Over 100 years. That was fantastic. Thanks, Wade. Thank you.
Thank you, Wade Barrett.
I appreciate it. That was fantastic.
I've got some bad news for you.
The better than expected. So since both of us didn't capture that one, I broke it down into 2 people. The first one I think goes without saying, the Iron Man, Javon Evans. Like, he didn't have any eliminations, which I think is weird for as long as he was in there. But man, did he make his presence felt? He cleared Obafemi to get Damian. Like, he cleared him. That was crazy. It was a crazy jump.
I really like the way he entered the ring too, because they went to go after him and he jumped over the entire corner.
Yeah.
To jump in through the other side of the ring. I was like, this kid is insane. And I have loved Javon Evans for a while now. My only worry, and it has nothing to do with him, I think he's going to be great. He has that fight from underneath quality that they want from like Sami Zayn. He also has it, and people love him. My actual worry is that Javon Evans, through the rest of the wrestling world, is going to create a bunch of copycats.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. He has that flippy kid feel.
He's got that flippy kid feel, but he's so original in how he does things that a bunch of people are going to steal all of his stuff. And it's going to be like, oh, well, like I do that stuff too. It's like, yeah, but do you do it as well? Because I can tell you they're not going to do it as well as him, and it's not going to look as good because something about seeing him do it originally is special. And he is a special kid. He has the right mentality for wrestling. If you ever listen to some of his, not just his promos, his actual interviews where he talks about things. So I really like Javon Evans, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him in the rest of the for the rest of his next like 25 years, since he's only 21 years old.
Yeah, since he is legitimately a flippy kid, but not in a negative connotation.
He's just an actual child.
Yeah, he's just an actual kid. The other one I put in here, better than expected, is Logan Paul. He had a solid showing. Final 4 for Logan Paul. Didn't see that coming, to be honest with you. No eliminations, but he was in there for 25 minutes. LA Knight, 3 eliminations. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, and then he helped Cody eliminate Brock Lesnar. So that was a pretty solid showing. Most eliminations, it was actually a tie between Oba and Roman, who both had 5. I don't know why I just gave Oba all the credit. And honestly, if you need a tiebreaker, Roman did it in under 16 minutes.
I mean, if you want to say it, Oba did it in under 16 minutes too. He just was in there a lot longer afterwards.
He did it in under 10 minutes and then didn't do anything else afterwards.
For the next 30.
Damian Priest had a pretty solid showing, I thought. Like, they had a nice him versus Oba. It was a short amount of time, but I really liked the two of them together. Cody Rhodes, 3 eliminations, 36 minutes. You'd expect this from him, so don't count this as better than expected. He came in a lot earlier. When he came out at 11, I was like, oh, we got Cody at 11 here, huh? I did not expect him there.
I just realized that how they have him listed as eliminated is Drew McIntyre.
Oh, do they have him there? Yeah. I'll get there in a second. Royce Keys had a great debut, though the fans were not quite sure what to make of him. So
yeah, the former powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, they definitely they set him up well, but and I'm happy that he debuted here, but he could have had a better kind of a better start to his time. He did eliminate Damian Priest, so that was I think it's a big elimination for him. Drew doing the thing for me. Drew going out there and getting around the self-sabotage and coming out here and absolutely obliterating Cody and eliminating Cody was fantastic. Like, I love what's happening here with him there. But we'll see kind of where that comes to fruition, because you have Cody and Jacob Fatu really spending a lot of time with each other. A little disappointed in Jacob Fatu's kind of showing in the Rumble, to be honest.
I mean, we both had him picked to win, so.
Yeah, and maybe he did. Our final 4. The final 4 for this was Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Gunther. So we both had Braun. We both had Cody. You had Evans and Fatu. I had Fatu. Only one of all 8 names chosen by the two of us. I know a lot of them overlapped. Roman was the only one that made it to the final 4.
We're really good at this.
was really, really shocked. Like Randy Orton and Logan Paul in the Final Four, did not see that coming. It actually makes me feel like that Randy Orton might be retiring soon. Like, there's your next retirement tour.
Yeah, there's the next one that Gunther's gonna have his last match with.
And the final two were Roman and Gunther, and Roman Reigns is your new Royal Rumble champion and Royal Rumble champion winner. And I did in the prediction show. I told you I thought this could happen. I actually really like this for him to cash this in for a shot against Drew. I think we'll end up getting CM Punk. I think we'll get Roman CM Punk, so CM Punk can actually have a main event at WrestleMania. I don't think he gets it by himself. I think he get it with Roman Reigns. But what I would really like to see is him going after Drew McIntyre. Bring back the Bloodline Killer storyline, or Bloodline Hunter storyline, and Drew going over on Roman at WrestleMania. Now we have forevermore legitimized Drew McIntyre. I think it just goes without saying.
I mean, legitimately after that, Drew can lose the title the next month at Backlash, and everything 100%. Would be fine.
And he'll go down as a legitimate champion. Like, if he loses to somebody strong, I almost put this world title. It'll be better, but this will be the same kind of world title run as Damian Priest had, which was worthless.
I do not think that I want to see Roman go after Drew as well. I do not think he goes after Drew. I think he goes after Punk. I do. I think that's.
I agree.
I think that's what happens. I think Punk was literally sitting in his hotel room that night after Roman won, thinking about how he's going to have to promote this match all by himself because Roman's not going to show up on TV for the next 3 months.
It's wild. It's wild that you can do that. Like, at least let him win Elimination Chamber, so there's a less amount of time between. But we'll see. We'll see if he shows up at Raw tomorrow. So, Steven, anything I missed? Anything else you want to cover from the show?
How about double El Grande Americanos? We didn't really talk too much about that, and that was
the original and
original recipe.
I thought we were going to get a third. We definitely got the Spider-Man point, but I thought we were going to get a third, which I'm glad we didn't. But again, 2 El Grande Americanos, and I couldn't get a Dominic Mysterio. I couldn't get a Joe Hendry. Couldn't get a R-Truth. Finn Balor. Come on, guys, you're better.
Couldn't have any of that. None of that was done. None of it.
Steve,
none of the tag team champions were there.
None of the tag team champions were there, even though all the champions from the women were all there. Steven, do we need a 40-man Rumble?
No, I don't think so.
You got 2 brands, 4 to 5 promotions, technically, because you could add NXT people here, which they really didn't. You have AAA, you have TNA, you have Raw, SmackDown. Like, could have been. You have Hall of Famers. Like, you have. It's a lot of people to fit into 30 spots.
It is. Maybe I think if we do that, I think we cut the time of the entrance from 2 minutes to 90 seconds again. They were doing that for a little while to make the Rumble a little quicker. I could see them cutting it down, cutting the entrance time 30 seconds if they do that, if they add more people in. I also think the Rumble is one of those events that could be 2 nights. This is really the one that I stick to, that you could do a women's Rumble one night and a men's Rumble the next night, and it doesn't take away. It ends up adding to both of them a little bit, because even if you do copy and paste the end of the Rumble, it's at least the next night, so you've forgotten it a little bit. It's the next day, so I think it actually helps.
Well, the time between entrance still feels really short. By the time Jey Uso got to the ring, the next
Roman was already there.
Yeah. So
It actually did feel really short, even though every one of them, I actually did the count. I did a stopwatch on them. Every one of them had a full 2 minutes from time to get there. It's because they're giving a lot of them are taking actual entrances down there.
Mm-hmm. The Miz not wanting any part of Femi and Brock Lesnar. Cinema. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course he didn't. That's
yeah, he's like, nope, good. I'm good. All I got here.
Yeah, you guys do what you're doing.
Jey Uso getting attacked by Roman and then doing double team moves with him right afterwards was weak.
That was weak sauce.
That's weak.
Yeah.
Like he should have gone right for Roman then. Like that's when
like when he went to like look at him for something, he should have then super kicked him.
Yeah. I'm not upset with the Raquel Liv thing because they had worked so well together, and then Liv found her moment to eliminate her, someone who was going to be a real problem to eliminate. Roman taunted Jey, telling him to run it back, and then hit him, and then they worked together afterwards. It just really didn't make any sense for me whatsoever. So,
and still no Jimmy. Like got no Jimmy either. Like again, what are we doing here?
Penta in the Rumble for 6 minutes. Last year's Iron Man seemed a little bit of a waste.
Oh, I know one of the things I had a little bit of an issue with. It was leading into the men's Rumble. They showed Penta with Ray and Dragon Lee, and I understand that they are the team on Raw, like they're the new LWO or whatever you want to call it. But why wouldn't Ray Phoenix be hanging out with them too?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
Like they're not feuding; they just happen to be on different shows, and that's Penta's brother. Like, Don't you think that all four of them would kind of be warming up together?
You might think.
Wrestling.
But as long as we got a double choke slam on Mr. Iguana and the Iguana.
And Viesca.
Viesca, that's it. Sure. If you say so. Sock puppets. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Wade Barrett, he's a weird guy.
Yeah. There's a great picture of him, like someone like took a picture of him without his face paint, and it's like real grainy when they're at like the IHOP or whatever it is in Riyadh that they have as a fast, quick service food place. But I digress, folks. That was 2026 Royal Rumble. Please do us a favor, like, subscribe at the bottom. Put in your opinions. Where were we right? Where were we wrong? Do you really think Nia Jax should have had 0 eliminations? Do you think that Mr. Iguana should have won it all? Maybe you do. Please.
Maybe you do.
Please don't write that down there. I like a gimmick nonetheless. Please tell a friend. If you don't have any friends, tell a stranger. And Steven?
As always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.